The following opinions are solely those of BoatTEST.com and its test captain.
Hi, Dave East for BoatTEST.com. We're going to test and inspect the Sailfish 242. This is a twin-engine center console boat that can take a serious fisherman far offshore and accommodate the entire family at the sandbar.
The Sailfish 242 center console is designed for hardcore fishermen who want no compromise in the boat's fishing amenities and want to go far offshore to catch the big ones. Having said that, the reality is that most boat owners have families, so many fishing boats have to perform double duty. To that end, Sailfish has built into the 242 creature comforts and water sport options that should make the whole family feel like the boat is for them too. First, let's take the measure of this vessel. When rigged with outboard engines and bow pulpit, her LOA is 26 feet, her beam is 9 feet wide, she draws 18 inches with the outboard up, and she weighs about 5,600 pounds dry. She carries 146 gallons of fuel and 14 gallons of fresh water. Her standard fishing amenities include 2 insulated self-bailing 260-quart fish boxes, a 30-gallon live well, 6 stainless steel rod holders, cockpit bolsters, tow rails, 6-inch wide gunnel racks, and a large bow casting platform. By combining her high freeboard, deep cockpit design with 2 optional packages, Sailfish gives owners the ability to transform this hardcore machine into a family-friendly boat with 2 optional packages. The Comfort package has bow cushions and backrests, as well as small jump seat inserts for the stern quarters. Now let's inspect the boat starting at the bow. Our test boat had an optional electric windlass, scuff plate, stainless steel anchor, polished anchor roller, rod and chain, and the proper nav lights.
At the very bow of the 242, you've got 3 pop-up cleats, one to either side, and you have one in the center. That way you can take the load off the windlass when you're at anchor. You can put your anchor rope here. You've got 2 flush-mounted rod holders, and even though these are hinges, this doesn't actually open. You've got a permanently mounted anchor windlass, but you do have access to the rod through this hatch down here.
We like the dedicated anchor rod cleat on the center line to keep the nose of the boat into the wind and waves, which will help keep the boat from sailing at anchor. The side cleats, though, come in handy for bottom fishing when anglers may want to actually let the boat glide back and forth over a wreck or a reef. Otherwise, they're well placed for mooring.
Up here at the bow of the 242, you've got a lot of comfortable seating for passengers. Backrest allows you to face forward while underway. Underneath the seating, you have insulated boxes that can be used for dry storage or a fish box. And in the cockpit sole, you've got additional wet storage where you can put a cast net or dock lines.
Owners who want to make their 242 family-friendly can opt for the Comfort package, which includes bow bolsters, seat cushions, and 2 small jump seats that can be inserted in the stern quarters. All upholstery is double-stitched and 2-toned. The length of the cushions is 65 inches, and the width, with optional filler cushion, is 72 inches. There's 27 inches between the seats. An optional bow table can side mount forward when entertaining. It is part of the entertaining package. The entertainment package includes a ski pylon, a fusion stereo, 3 sets of underwater LED lights, and the bow table. With the T-top option, an optional awning is available for the bow. Also available is the captain's anti-fatigue pad for the helm, which we recommend for those doing serious offshore fishing. In the bow, the 2 260-quart insulated fish boxes with overboard drains can also be used for beverages or general storage. Every boat should have a 5-gallon bucket, and there is a dedicated place for it under the sole. In front of the console is a standard seat for 1 person that juts out and has a straight back. We'd like to see a handhold here. Moving just behind the seats, we measured the cockpit depth at 38 inches and the freeboard at 40 inches. Moving aft, we find that the cockpit depth is 28 inches and the freeboard is 32 inches. These are relatively high numbers for a 24-foot boat and make the boat family-friendly and offshore-ready. Fishing access from the bow platform to the stern is facilitated by handholds with a minimum walkway width of 18 inches between the gunnels and the T-top supports. Moving to the helm, we find it ergonomically correct by placing the wheel to one side.
The helm is wide enough where 3 people could actually enjoy the protection of the windshield, and Sailfish has put built-in storage up on top of the dash.
This optional storage compartment is one of the best designed in class because it's deep, has sectional organizers, and the deep gutter all the way around with drain. The clear acrylic lid is gasketed to help keep water out.
Got a flush mounted compass that's center line to the steering wheel. The switches are right up here and they're easy to see, and they're all marked with logos and they're backlit. Plenty of room for flush mounted electronics. As the throttle goes forward, your controls for your trim tabs are right where they belong, right under your fingertips. The windlass control is here, and it's got a tilt helm for comfort. Below, you have a built-in footrest with additional storage.
The 242 comes standard with 2 captain's chairs on pedestals, but we recommend getting one of the 4 optional leaning posts. The optional LP4 unit on our test boat had a 38-inch wide bench seat, a large storage compartment under the seat, and in the back a handy storage cubby and carry-on cooler tucked in below. Other leaning options are LP9 and LP10, both of which have dedicated tackle storage locations in addition to other amenities. We recommend them for tackle storage alone. The head compartment door is wider than many, and that is why it's bifold to clear the side deck when open.
You've got a lot of room inside this center console. Got a porcelain marine head, got a built-in sink with a pull-out shower. You have 67 inches of headroom, and you've got additional storage and access to your electronics.
Note the storage. At an easy reach inside the lockable compartment are battery switches and breakers. In the cockpit, the good-sized bolsters are standard, as are the 3 rod holders on each side in the gunnels and 6 rod holders below, 3 on each side. Under them are stainless tow rails. 2 doors in the transom open to mechanical equipment, fuel filters, and priming bulb. Immediately to port is a hatch to the boat's single through hull and its seacock. It's labeled "Which We Like." Just below the hatch is one of 2 2-inch cockpit drains that are recessed slightly below the deck level and are open for maximum flow. This is the best designed drain hardware we have seen. Just outboard of the drains, port and starboard, are optional stereo speakers. The aft section of the cockpit measures 7 feet 4 inches wide, and there is 2 feet 1 inch between the leaning post and the transom. The holder for rigging tools is standard. The stern of our test boat held twin 150s.
At the stern, the jump seats are removable, and you've got a transom door that opens to lead out to the built-in swim ladder.
On the swim platform is a concealed 4-step reboarding ladder, an optional stereo remote for swimmers just like those found on sports boats, and a standard freshwater shower. To port is the standard 30-gallon live well with high-speed pickup. In between is a deep motor well with access ports to the bilge pump. The optional fiberglass T-top, which is part of 2 offshore tournament packages, has 4 rod holders and headroom of 6 feet 6 inches. Directly over the helm is a lockable equipment box with magnet that holds the hatch up. Aft are switches that control all of the lights. The undersurface of the top comes in both light and dark colors, and aft is a molded-in speaker box, courtesy lights, and spreader lights on both sides. The supports for the T-top are numerous, and this top is not going anywhere, with 4 supports anchored to the deck and 2 to the center console, all leading to a structure overhead that is attached in 10 places to the fiberglass T-top. Looking forward from the helm, visibility is somewhat marred because of the diagonal T-top supports in front. The white powder coating is optional. With 2 people aboard and a 41% fuel load in her 146-gallon tank and no water, we had a test weight of about 7,354 pounds. She was powered with twin Yamaha 150 horsepower engines, turning 13 3/4 by 19-inch propellers. Her wide open throttle speed at 5,900 RPM was 52.2 miles per hour. We found best cruise to be at 3,000 RPM, where the boat traveled 20.4 miles per hour or 17.74 knots. There she burned 7.8 gallons per hour, getting 2.6 miles per gallon for a range of 342 statute miles, with a 10% fuel reserve. Most people that I know will want to cruise a bit faster when conditions permit, and at 4,500 RPM, she went 38.8 miles per hour, burning 18.5 miles per gallon for a range of 276 statute miles. That translates to 33.7 knots in a range of 240 nautical miles, all with the 10% fuel reserve. Her time to plane was 5.3 seconds, and time to 30 miles per hour was 7.8 seconds. So the question begs, would it be better to power this boat with twin 150s or a single 300. The folks at Sailfish have tested the 242 center console with a single Yamaha 300 horsepower engine, and they report that with single 300, best cruise was 27.2 miles per hour, and it was 26% more fuel efficient than the twin 150s. At 4,500 RPM, the twin 150s were actually 1.7 miles per hour faster, but 19% less fuel efficient than the single 300. Her top end was 2.3 miles per hour faster with the twins. Our guess is that people will make their single or twin decision based on other reasons than fuel efficiency and speed. Sailfish employs what it calls a VDS, or variable degree stepped hull. The concept of this hull is to cushion re-entry in rough conditions at speed and be more fuel efficient when running in all conditions, plus be more stable at rest. At 4,500 RPM, we put the boat through a series of turns, first easy, then harder over, and at no time did we experience ventilation or any bad behavior. We didn't experience any pounding when going through our camera boat's wake. By using engine trim and trim tabs, an operator can easily take advantage of her unique bottom to attain maximum efficiency. We recommend getting trim tabs for any deep V boat, and the 242 is no exception. Lenco trim tabs are offered, and we like their easy to understand readouts. Well, that wraps up our look at the Sailfish 242 center console. For BoatTEST.com, I'm Dave East reporting.